Hi, my name is Stephanie, and today I have 5 alternatives to a traditional sun salutation that are prenatal safe. Your traditional sun salutation A, B, and C are neither safe nor comfortable to practice as pregnancy progresses, particularly once you enter those second and third trimesters. Instead, I recommend you use one of these alternatives in your yoga class to get some of those same benefits, like warming up the body and practicing pairing breath to movement. All of these alternatives are safe for all trimesters of pregnancy and can be repeated in succession to help warm up the body and get some of the cardiovascular benefits you might get from repeating traditional sun salutations 3, 5, 10 times in a row in a class. The first alternative I have is a half sun salutation. Come to your mountain pose, taking a wider stance than you might if this were not a prenatal class, making sure your feet are at least hip-width distance apart. On an inhale, bring the arms up overhead. As you exhale, bend the knees generously as you find your forward fold, keeping your hand and your gaze at least 12 to 18 inches in front of the toes rather than back towards your feet. This is to avoid dizziness. On an inhale, bring your hands to your shins or your thighs, finding your flat back position, halfway lift. As you exhale, instead of folding forward again, let's bend the knees and sink the hips back. Inhale, roll up, find your mountain pose. At speed, this would look something like inhale, arms up overhead, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips back. Inhale, roll up, mountain pose. The second alternative is a play on a traditional sun salutation A. From the front of your mat, again find that wide mountain pose stance. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, halfway lift. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat and your knees to the mat, finding your tabletop position. From here, inhale, drop the belly, open the chest, lift the gaze, cow pose. As you exhale, curl the toes under, bring the hips up and back into your downward facing dog. On your inhale, bend the knees generously, look through the hands. And as you exhale, slowly walk to the top of your mat, finding your forward fold. Inhale, rise up, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips back. Inhale, mountain. At speed, this would look something like inhale, rise up, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, halfway lift. Exhale, hands and knees to mat, tabletop. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, cow. Exhale, curl the toes under, sink the hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees generously, look through the hands. Exhale, step to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips back. Inhale, roll up, mountain pose. The third option is another variation of that sun salutation A. Again, for mountain pose at the top of your mat, we begin by inhaling our arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, halfway lift. Exhale, bring your hands and knees to the mat, finding your tabletop position. On your inhale, bring your shoulders out over your wrist, coming onto your knees. Exhale, take a yogi push-up. Inhale, rise back up, tabletop. And exhale, curl the toes under, sink the hips back, downward facing dog. On your inhale, bend the knees, look through the hands. Exhale, step up to the front of your mat, finding your forward fold. Inhale, rise up, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips back. Inhale, all the way up, mountain. Again, at speed, this would look something like inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, halfway lift. Exhale, find your tabletop position. Inhale, find your plank on the knees. Exhale, yoga push-up. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees, look through the hands. Exhale, step to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the knees, sink the hips back. Inhale, roll up, mountain. Nature. If the up and down nature of sun salutations is not comfortable during pregnancy, you could take this purely standing option. Come to mountain at the top of your mat. As you inhale, bring the arms up overhead, sink back into your chair pose. On an exhale, lift the right knee, step the toes back, finding your high lunge. Inhale, open out to the side, warrior two, holding here for your exhale. Your next inhale, reach the arms forward, flip the palm towards the ceiling, and exhale, find your reverse warrior. Inhale, back to warrior two, and exhale, come back to that high lunge. Inhale, step up to the top of your mat, chair pose. Exhale, hands to the side, rise back up to mountain. Taking that to the other side, you would inhale, arms up overhead, sink back, chair pose. Exhale, step the left toes back this time, finding your high lunge on the other side. Inhale, open out, warrior two, holding here for your exhale. In your next inhale, bring the right arm forward, flip the palm. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, finding that high lunge again. Inhale, step the left toes up, finding your chair. And exhale, hands to the side, rise back up, mountain pose. To show you that one more time, begin at the front of your mat in mountain pose. On an inhale, arms up overhead, sink the hips back, weight in the heels, chair pose. Exhale, step the right knee back, finding your high lunge. Inhale, open out, warrior two. Hold here for your exhale. Inhale, bring the left palm forward, flip that towards the ceiling, and exhale, find your reverse warrior. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, coming back to your high lunge. Inhale, step the right toes up to meet the left, chair pose. Exhale, arms at your side, mountain. Onto the other side, inhale, arms up overhead, sink the hips back, chair pose. Exhale, bring the left toes behind you, finding high lunge on the other side. Inhale, open out to warrior two, hold for your exhale. Inhale, bring the right palm forward, flip up and back. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, back to warrior two. Exhale, back to high lunge. Inhale, step the left toes up to meet the right, finding your chair pose. Exhale, hands to the side, mountain. Finally, if the standing nature of sun salutations is not comfortable for you at this stage, or you're looking for a more low-key alternative to sun salutations, then I recommend taking this flow on your knees. We'll begin in child's pose. Bring the big toes together, knees wide. Sit the hips back onto your toes as you bring the hands out in front and the forehead to the mat. And then inhale, we'll rise up, finding our neutral tabletop position. As you exhale, step the left toes back, bring the right arm forward. Inhale, lift the right arm, lift the left leg, bird dog. Exhale, back to tabletop. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, finding your cow pose. Exhale, drop the gaze around the spine, finding your cat. Inhale, back to a neutral tabletop position. As you exhale, step the right toes back, left arm forward. Inhale, lift the left arm, lift the right leg, bird dog. Exhale, finding your neutral tabletop. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, big toes together, knees wide, back to child's pose. Again, to demonstrate that one more time, we'll begin in our child's pose. On an inhale, find your tabletop position. Exhale, step the left toes back, right arm forward. Inhale, lift the right arm, lift the left leg, bird dog. Exhale, tabletop. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, press through the shoulder blades, drop the gaze, cat. Inhale, find your neutral tabletop position. Exhale, step the right toes back, left arm forward. Inhale, lift the left arm, lift the right leg, bird dog. Exhale, tabletop. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, cow pose. Exhale, big toes together, knees wide, as you sink back, tabletop. And with that, we have 5 prenatal safe alternatives to a traditional sun salutation. If you tried practicing any of these, please let me know your favorites down in the comments below. I hope to see and practice with you again. Bye!